Live streaming is on.
All right, why am I having such grief with this camera?
All right, well, we are trying this for the umpteenth time, literally the umpteenth time. So welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'm joined by Mark Lumen, Carl Reed, Peter Naval, Mike. I can't remember Mike's last name, and I believe I have John Miller here. And we are live, no looping.
Yay.
Sort of.
So anyways, I can't hear me, but you guys can hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
It's coming
Okay,
through
good.
fine,
So things are kind of messed up. This is not my best night, but we're going to make the best of it. We are live streaming. We have one concurrent viewer. And let's see what happens tonight. So we are live, you guys. So we're going to keep the family room friendly. And hopefully we can talk about model aviation and what you've been doing lately.
I think we were at the point where Peter was showing us his connection to his elevator horn.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah, I saw the horn, and there's no room in it.
I can't get the angle straight down into the fuselage. I was trying to show you guys is like, the one thing that if anybody builds this RSM Pathfinder LE kit is that the amount of room you have back. Hold on, let's see here. Let me go do this. The amount of room you have back here, right down in there, back by where the elevator horn is supposed to go, there's next to no space. What I have here is, and I can't get a shot. I can't get the shot straight down into the fuselage where you can look down in there, but there is very little space side to side for your control linkage to connect your push rod from the bell crank to the elevator horn. And this is what I have here is I have a Tom Mars control setup, and it has a ball link. It's got an Allen key, an Allen bolt. The ball link, and then the nut to secure it. And I'm gathering that, I can't pull it out far enough for you guys to see it, but the width of the entire control linkage on the end of the horn I'm gathering is almost 3/4 of an inch wide between the top of the Allen bolt and where the Allen screw head and the actual nut that fits on the end of it, with the ball link and everything else. And there is next to no room in there for any kind of movement. I mean, that whole arrangement is hitting the fuselage side to side, especially when I have full up elevator. It gets really, it's just rubbing against the sides of the fuselage. And I'm having a heck of a time getting that all lined up where it's centered and the linkage is not actually rubbing against anything.
Well, Peter, I had a similar situation with my Nobler, and let me grab the remains of my Nobler. I can show you what I did. I'll be right back because I had a similar situation using ball links in a Nobler. So
even after what I did is down right about here where you see my finger is.
Right.
I actually installed a wedge, a balsa wood wedge in the back.
Okay.
Of the fuselage to spread apart the fuselage to give yourself some more room. But even then, it's really tight.
Hang on, I'll be right back, you guys.
It's almost like a clevis would work better than a ball link.
Peter, you can't see me, but I can see you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm probably as much responsible for that situation as anybody else. We tend to use double horn there with a ball link in between, or a single horn and a clevis.
That
So,
would work.
it gets-
But then why did I go spend all this money on a Tom Morris custom control setup for this thing?
Yeah. Well, you could also cut
Yeah,
out
it's a little
both,
bit,
both
but it's
sides a little bit.
It's almost a little bit late in the game to change it out. I mean, I'd have to. That'd be a fun deal to do.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll figure out a way to get it to work.
Oh yeah, I'll eventually do it, but it's like it's something that should be quite quick and straightforward is turning into a little bit of an expedition here.
Like I say, I'm probably as much to blame for that as anybody else, because I typically, and I don't think about how other people might do it. I typically use either a double horn or a single horn with a clevis.
The clevis.
So
That would fit back there.
that, yeah, the thing you got to do is you got to use a real good clevis one that you can lock into position so it doesn't open up on you suddenly when you don't want it to.
Right. And they make those that adjustable too, right? Those clevis. I guess it depends on your rod. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure it out.
What Gordon did is he went to the RC shop and bought the tie rod ends for an RC car. He got right hand and left hand threads, and he put one on each end of the push rod, and then you just reach in there and turn the push rod.
Turn the push rod. That's great.
That sounds like an elegant solution to that problem.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's absolutely. I mean, yeah. The thing is, I can't go.
All right, here.
Right now, I can't go really with a clevis because, well, I probably can, but yeah, and I'd have to find one that's the right thread diameter for the push rod that's on this particular setup. Although, to be quite honest with you, I cringe at the thought of putting a clevis in an airplane. I've had just one too many of those fail on me.
Yeah, I think it's like John was saying.
Yeah, the other thing you do,
Quality.
the other thing you can do is put a Z bend back there, and
Adjustment.
there's a couple of Z bend back there.
Oh, I'll make it fit.
Now, I have a suggestion. If you guys
put
are
a Z band, you could make the adjustment at the flat horn, I guess, if you need to adjust it.
Well, it's a little bit late for that. You have to cut into the fuselage to do that at this point.
Charles is trying to show us something.
Let me show you what I did, Peter. I don't know if I can give you a good image.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of shiny. Where is it at? Okay. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't. Let me get to the point with. Right about here, I built this area up with sheets of plywood, and that plywood.
Your video is turned off.
I see my video. Does
Yeah,
everybody
it's
see me?
video.
Or you don't see
Yeah,
me?
I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It says video for flying control arm stunt has been turned off to save bandwidth. Okay.
All right. Well, you still can't
Sorry,
see
it
me.
must be just me then.
Well, I wish you could see it too. But
Well, no, you're coming in good,
Yeah.
Charles.
okay, well, I built up this area. Matter of fact, I had the type of Tom Morris elevator horn that has a slot in it, and I had a ball link. I mean, so it's a lot of area I had in there. Now I built it up on both sides. So that's the other side. I built it up, and I just built that. I built that up and I laminated it up because I remember building a boat when I was a Cub Scout or something, and how we built boats. We just keep laying up pieces of wood, and I just hollowed them out, and I built up this very light area, and I was able to have some pretty big hardware in there. This is a Nobler. I mean, so your Nobler gets really thin back there. See it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's really thin. And I was able to get a ball link and an elevator, the adjustable, the slider elevator from Tom Morris. And that's how I did it. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, but that's what worked for me. Is that ball
Right
link
now, let's see.
slid up and down, about an inch.
Right
I
now,
had a lot of room.
that's what it's looking like in there right now. So a clevis, I have to build out both sides of it quite a bit. And then what happens is, I'll tell you the other artifact for this, or the other thing that I have to consider, is that there isn't much thread on there to figure out what size clevis I've got going on. That's going to be a job. But let me go. The other thing is on this, because I don't know if you can see it too well from this angle, but the control horn is really. I'd have to swap out the control horn too, because right now it's really narrow. The width is what was set on it. And let me see. I'm doing something that's got okay. The control horn width between the two arms is 1.5 inches. I mean, that's 1.5 inches right there. So that keeps, of course, it keeps the elevators quite tight. Once they're installed, it keeps them quite tight against the fuselage side, which is a real nice thing because I don't have to put that much of a bearing piece in there.
Right.
But like I said, I'll figure it out.
That's
Just
what
something, if anybody else builds this,
If
anybody else builds this kit, is just to keep that in mind when you're getting it. Is to you have to pay some at least a little bit special attention to the setup for your elevator control.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah. Well, building a model airplane is all about overcoming challenges. One challenge after another until you finally finish.
No, actually, it was like, oh, geez. I was like so excited. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to do this one right. I'm going to go, I'm not going to use the control horns that came with the kit. The control horns that came with the kit are quite substantial. I mean, geez. The control horns that actually come with the kit are not even bent. This is what they did. This is what comes in the kit.
Oh yeah.
See that? I mean, it's nice. It's got all bushings on the horns. It's already bushed. It's not. They don't even bend them for you. So I figured, no, I'm not going to use the kit parts. I'll go out and I'll get the cantilever, the bent horns that Tom Morris has, and the whole ball link set up and everything with the carbon fiber push rod, and then it comes and at the end it comes and bites me in the butt.
Yeah. You guys, let me catch up on the chat. I'm kind of behind, not too much, but a little bit. The first one was by Control Line Precision Aerobatics. I don't know your name, but I've seen your tagline before. And he says, "Evening, gents." And then I responded, "Good evening." Then Dennis B says, "It was nice to see all the stunt planes today in the lineup. Many different designs, very nice." I agree. I watched the video stream live from Muncie, Indiana. I watched the replay, but I saw that video. You're talking about the check-in video, I believe. And very nice airplanes, pretty airplanes. And Marcel Legrand says, "Hi, guys. I'm thinking of building a Juno. Where can I get a plan, please?" Does anybody know offhand where the Juno plans are?
The Juno, I
Try.
found it on either Hip Pocket or the other on there, and actually got. I think it was Hip Pocket. I got downloaded the thing to put on a USB and the magazine article both. Now, that magazine article on that was a bear to find. It
That's
was the
the
flying
Juno,
model
right, Mike?
January. Yeah, that's the Juno.
Okay.
And that was January of '80 flying models. But I think Hip Pocket has the plans. Hip Pocket Aeronautics.
Right. Very good, Mike. Thanks for that help. And then Jeff Riley says, "Hey, Charles, that's got to be the lightest Nobler I've ever seen."
Not much left.
It's translucent.
One more thing, guys, about the RSM kit and having to do, especially with the elevator setup, and it also holds true for the flaps, and where you can't just use any elevator. You can't just use any elevator horn because I'll show the I gotta go back to my other camera. Hold on a second. Okay. The elevator, right? The way normally a lot of elevators, you put your horn and you locate wherever the leg for the horn goes in to the balsa wood into the back of the elevator. That's where you determine where you're going to drill your hole. In this kit, the elevator horn fits into. You can see that one.
Yeah, I see. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's already a cutout for the elevator horn, and of course, once that's in there, it gets a cap that goes over.
Very nice.
The thing is, because the elevator and the flaps are set up that way. Whoops, hold on, sorry. Because they're set up that way, the size of your elevator horn, because when you build the elevator, whoops, I can't do it. The size in the elevator is got to fit on here like this.
Right.
And hold on. One more shot because it fits on like that. All right, we go back here. What happened? I don't have my no. All right, because it does fit on like that, let me zoom out on this camera. To give you an idea, because it goes on like that, when you build your elevator, notice for it to line up with the trailing edge of your stab, your elevator horn can only be so big.
Who's that guy?
To fit in the slot.
Right.
Either that, right now it's fitting in the slot, and you see now that the.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have an elevator horn that's too wide, your elevator is going to be out here somewhere after you build it according to the plans. So if you build it according to the plans, the elevator horn has got to be a specific length between the two.
John Miller, Charles, Mark, Gary, Peter. I don't know who that guy is.
So that's ultimately, I guess that's why the RSM did not rebend the horn. Because that Tom Morris made sure he bent the horns just to be the correct width between the two arms. So when you build the elevator, it doesn't end up sticking out past your the edge of the tip of your stab.
Show the room. Yeah. Everywhere.
I understand, Peter. You're right.
Somebody's joining us from the NABs.
Yeah, we got Mike
Airplane.
Wonky.
Oh,
Airplane.
I'm another Mike.
Airplane. We got
Hey,
Look
Mike
at
Wonky.
special guest star Tom
Hey,
Randall.
Tom.
Hi,
Hey,
guys.
what's up? You know what?
Tom.
That's
Are you in Mike's bed or are you in your own bed?
We're-
Don't answer that. This is TV. Don't answer that.
okay.
This would have been John Miller's bed had he made it, but now we got Big Tom in here.
Very cool. I'm happy for you, Tom, getting there. That's awesome.
Me too.
It was a 12-hour drive.
Ooh, that's
Wow.
a drive.
You are the man, Tom.
And you won't believe it. I got 33 miles per gallon on the first gas stop.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And
Were
In
you
a Camaro?
In a Camaro.
32 on the second.
Wow.
That was
Now, what
'cause
engine do you have, Tom?
What's that?
What engine do you have in that Camaro?
It's a 305 horsepower V6.
That's really impressive.
It's pretty. Yeah.
All right, hold the fort down for a minute. I'll be
Sounds
right
like it gets kind of pays for itself with the gas mileage anyway.
Yeah, it was.
Compared to others.
I was shocked when I calculated it out.
Yeah. Still
if
not
all
going to help
planes
that
you've
much
seen,
if these gas
Tom-
prices keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, it's over $3 a gallon in Indiana.
Here in
Tom, you
Colorado,
think so?
we're sitting at 325.
Wow.
When did you get there, Tom?
Let me say something. I've been trying to say something, Tom. So at the Nats, you see a lot of beautiful airplanes, right?
Yeah.
Now, have you seen an airplane that you got to build? And what is it?
back. No, he just got to the hotel an hour ago. He hasn't seen anything.
I haven't been there yet.
I thought I heard your voice. I was watching a video today. It's like 3 videos, and I heard your voice on one of them. I thought
No.
there's another guy that sounds just like you, but I didn't see him. I just heard his voice. I just assumed it was you.
No, I didn't get here till about 8 o'clock, 8 p.m.
Okay. Well,
Or
maybe
actually-
after.
Actually, 9 p.m. Muncie time.
Wow. Okay. Well, I saw some pretty airplanes, so maybe next Monday you can tell us what airplane you saw there that you are so inspired you have to build one. I'm curious what that model would be.
Okay.
Go ahead. Who interrupted? Was that Gary?
Who's in the middle?
I just asked him when he arrived. So,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
8 o'clock Minnesota time, 9 o'clock Muncie time. 9 p.m. Muncie time.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it was 12 hours. And I just stopped for gas and bathroom breaks.
That's not bad for 12 hours.
Yeah,
You're still a young man.
it's a long way.
Yeah.
That is. Let me
Sparky,
I'm still twice as
Sparky
far away
was
from you.
talking to Tom Moore or Tom Dixon earlier today. Or I think he was talking to Tom Dixon.
Who was talking to
He
Tom?
was.
Sparky, I think, was talking
Oh,
to
yeah.
Tom Dixon
Yeah, yeah.
at some
Yeah, he
point
was.
this morning.
Sparky talked to a lot of people. Talked to Jim Lee and gave
Yeah.
Jim Lee a suggestion about his syringes.
Yeah.
And let me catch up on the
Good.
chat box.
Don't
You guys, hang
almost
on.
$100.
Yeah, Mark Lumen says page 7 on the HIP pocket. Excuse me. Page 7 on the hip pocket on control line stunt is the Juno. And then Mark Marcel Legrand says, "Hi, Mike and Sammy. Good luck to you guys." And then Mike Rigel says, "Marcel, Outer Zone has plans for the Juno, and if you want to purchase plans, you can find them by Googling model airplane plans, and you'll find a site that has plans from several different magazines." Very cool. And Marcel Legrand says, "Cheers, Mike Rigel." And then Mike Rigel says, "Marcel, you can also find plans for a Juno 60, and there is a Cobra 60 too." All right, you guys, we're all caught up. We have 17 concurrent viewers. We have 8 likes, despite all the mishaps and hiccups and problems and looping and not streaming. And so thank you very much.
We're getting there. It's ironing itself out.
Now 9 likes. So you guys, I really want to promote Sparky. This is costing him $50 to $75 a day to stream the broadcast live at Muncie at the LPAD, and they're on site. So anything you guys can do, please do some super chats. If you know Sparky's email address, his PayPal account, you can do that. Or, he definitely would love your guys' support and help to offset something that he's doing up front. He's going to be paying $50 to $75 a day, and it's not over till next Saturday. So please help out. I don't know if anyone asked him to do this. I think he does it on his own. And so please support his efforts. He just has a heart and passion for this hobby to be documented even after he's long gone. That's why he's doing, in part, why he's doing so much. So please come alongside him and help him. He's the one who's spending the money on the equipment and going out there and doing this live. And this is at a sacrifice when you could be practicing there at the at Muncie too to even do better. So please consider supporting him. Please give us super chats and at least give us likes, but please consider the super chat and also consider the YouTube memberships. Show Sparky some love, please.
Oh,
all right, you guys.
As far as the Juno is concerned, I just found on Aerofred plans for the Juno. I don't know if this is the right one.
Yeah.
But on Aerofred, you log on www.aerofred.com, and you can download the plans. Obviously, so you'd have to have somebody print them. But this looks like the airplane.
Yeah.
Yep. Good job. Good job, Peter.
Oh, just hold on.
I may be a little strange, but that is my favorite of all the Wearwidge designs. There's something about the Juno that just is very attractive to me. It's like 630 square inch. So it's smaller, drastically smaller than the USA One wing.
Yeah, that's what happens. You gotta have it,
This is the Juno. On the plans, it says Juno designed and drawn by Bill Wearwidge.
Yeah.
So that's the right one.
You still up? What the fuck do you think about that?
Michael Gell says, "I appreciate Sparky. I also want to see control line flying continue into the future." Well, absolutely. That's my interest, and I think everybody here, we love it passionately. And I think we all want to see it to continue. It'd be a shame for it to go away, like the 8-track tape did.
Yeah.
I still got 8-track.
I don't know how much I can help right now. I did go ahead and I joined the stunt hangar thing, so he's getting $5 a month from me anyway. But I'm going to see if I can help with the super chat at some point.
Thank you. That'd be wonderful. And speaking of that, if you are watching this as a replay, we'll be doing this again Friday. And who knows, when Sparky's online during the live stream, you can go and donate then during the super chat. So I expect Sparky to continue to be filming throughout the week. So if you can get in during the live stream, you can donate then on the super chat. If not, I'll be back Friday night, and then you can donate then. But I think he said yesterday, he said all he got in super chats was $7.
Oh, good grief.
So
that's ridiculous. Come on, folks.
Yeah. So please donate. Please. And anyways, Michael Gell says, yes, that's the plan. You can download from Outer Zone. I have it on my files. I have it in my files. Pardon me. I just have to print it out. Yep. Find a place that does architectural designs or plans that prints out. No offense to those office supply stores. I actually work at one. Not everybody in there can scale them up. But if you go to a place that prints blueprints, they'll be able to print you out a real nice size. So you want to make sure you reference that scale on the plans and hold that person to it, that scale is 6 inches or whatever the scale is, that it, with a ruler, an accurate ruler, so that you know that the plan will be accurate. Is there anything else you want to add about that, John?
No, just anywhere where they do architectural supply or for civil engineers, they're doing large scale prints all the time. They've got the equipment, and the people are trained to do it and do it with the least amount of hassle. So, if you can't find one, then you'll have to take it to, one of the printers like what's it? I can't remember their name now. Anyway, just and be careful. One other thing. One of our kit makers had a company that was supposed to know what they're doing in their print shop, and he kept telling the kit maker that the guy that drew the plans didn't know what he was doing. Well, the guy who drew the plans was me. And I took a little umbrage to that. And we figured out what it was. He didn't, I'm sorry, but it is kind of like, he didn't want to take the time to figure out the skills that, so he just printed it to fit the sheet.
Right, like the place that I get my plans printed,
they have drawn for like overseas. Go ahead.
The place that I get my plans printed, they have to increase it like 101% to have it come out right, because their printer automatically downsizes it just a little bit, and I kept pointing out to them it's not right, and I'm pretty particular, and so they figured out they had to increase it 101% to get it to print right.
Oh wow! I wonder why it was reducing it.
I couldn't tell you that. I don't know.
It's good information to know.
Yeah, and Marcel Legrand says, thank you, guys. Also, does anyone know Billy's email, the designer of Juno?
No.
I don't know Bill's email. Does Bill even have an email?
That's another good question. Does Billy even have an email? I know that very few people can contact Billy Werbridge. I'm not even going to name who can, but yeah, he's I don't know. I can't explain that, but no, he's not really available. Well, I'm glad to be rocking and rolling again. We really had a really rough start. So anybody who's had to reconnect with us 3, 4, 5, 6 times, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Sparky, the master, even he had difficulty and ended up going to a different platform, back to what we was doing before. And this is just temporary. This is not how it's going to be for too long. We're going to go back to the Zoom Pro because we have some monies invested in that. So, but I just wanted to have a broadcast, a live stream of the channel.
I appreciate you doing this.
Pleasure.
Somebody's got their.
Someone has YouTube on in the background, I think.
No, that was just Mike was in here. He's on his phone.
Okay. All right. And then Marcel Legrand says, what about Wendy's email? You know, I've emailed Wendy just recently, and I got a very short response, but he was polite. So I don't think Wendy is available either. I mean, I'm not a very good friend of Wendy's. Maybe he has some friends that he's communicating, but Wendy's really into motorcycles. He has a YouTube channel, and it's predominantly motorcycles. So it's you never know. I believe he still has breath in his lungs. Come back. He's racing also. Is that what you said, John? He's racing?
He's raising his grandchild.
Oh, raising his grandchild.
He's raising his grandchild.
I understand. Well, I thought that his grandchild would see those beautiful Spitfires in the Spitfire room and go, Grandpa, let's go fly. And I thought that's what all it would take.
That may still happen. I was on the regular Stunt Hangar thing, and they had a video that they were talking to Wendy in 2016 or something, and sent him a video from Brodak. And at that time, his grandson was 7 years old. So it may be a while.
So that was 2016, and he was 7?
I think so.
Okay. Well, they're getting up there, 12, 13 years old.
Yeah. There's always hope. Hopefully he gets interested.
I hope so, too.
His grandpa's got a lot of gorgeous airplanes.
Yeah, a lot of concourse trophies. I mean, they don't even make that trophy anymore, that big prop that he would get awarded every year. Not every year he won, but he won like 13 times the concourse. So he has a lot of props.
Yeah, Arlie Prexler made those, I think, and he's been gone a while.
Oh, okay. So Mike Rigel says, I would double check with a ruler to make sure that the wood measurements are correct. 1/16 equals 1/16, and so on and so on. And then Mike Rigel says, and that tribute that he has, yeah, that tribute is a beautiful airplane. That tribute to the to his bird, Chicky. I think the bird was called Chicky, I think. And then Marcel says, I think it would be more model trains now. Yeah, he did have a really nice model airplane, model train setup as well in another room. Yeah, the grandson has a lot to be interested in between the trains and planes and motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Busy kid.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to call it an evening. I've got a notice here that my microphone appears to be noisy too.
Oh, that's normal. Ignore that. Just hit the X and just ignore it.
Well, I think I'm going to call it a night. Have a good one, all.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks for. I imagine you must have had some trouble getting in. I appreciate your persistence. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
A little bit, but it was par for the course for the day between the weed whacker and two airplane engines, neither of which would start. It was par for the course for this.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
all.
We'll see you maybe Friday.
Yeah, I'll try to touch base Friday.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much. All right.
Charles, who
Yes.
didn't make it over here on the last iteration?
Phil
Lim
Bailey.
didn't make it. Is that right?
Yeah, Phil Bailey, Mark Lim. He's
Phil Bailey and Mark.
yeah. Mark was on the chat over here for a while. If anybody is listening, if Philip is listening, I have a new link inside at the bench, and it's actually titled "New Link." So click on that, and that'll bring you inside here. So the other three links most of them are expired, and this is the only one that's the 8x8, and that's what we're in today, not the Zoom Pro. So please come on back if you can. If you can't, then hopefully we'll see you again Friday.
Tom,
Yes.
are you going to be flying an airplane at all in the contest, or are you just going to fly at night?
I'll just be flying at night and be a spectator during the day.
Well, cool.
Yeah, it should be a lot
They'll
of fun.
grab you and make you judge something. You know that, don't you?
I don't know if I'd be a very good judge.
Well, as long as you're consistent, that's
Well, they also
that's more
might have
important than
you
anything
pull-
else. If you're just consistent. You see the same type of material, same shape, same sizes, same, and you give that score. Just give that same score to someone else that does that, or a better score if you see it better. And tomorrow,
This is only the second time that I've ever been to the Nats, and the first time I was just a little kid, and my dad. So back
That's
in
a whole different perspective now,
yeah, should be different. I haven't been there yet, so I'm here at the hotel, but tomorrow will be my first day there.
fantastic. And tomorrow, Steve is cooking. I think he's catering.
Oh,
Steve Hines.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Hamburgers and stuff like that, I believe.
Okay.
That's why
good.
Steve's not here tonight.
That's right. That's right.
Some farmers going to be missing. Some farmers going to be missing a cow tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I had the grandkids.
I couldn't help that.
For 3
I
days.
apologize.
Had my grandkids at our house for 3 days. That's why I couldn't leave to come here until this morning. But they're using that tow surf board that I built for them, and even the 3-year-old is on it. So
Oh, very cool.
they're pretty much love to ride on that thing.
That is very, very cool. Hey, Carl, have you watched any of the videos that Sparky's streaming from the Nats?
No, not yet. I was recuperating all day from Father's Day yesterday.
Okay.
I ate too much, slept all day today, so.
Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, there's
Plus I installed a kitchen sink faucet on Saturday, and so I'm kind of recuperating from that. And the dishwasher I had a challenge with. So
yeah. Well, just check out the YouTube channel, the Stunt Hangar, and go to Sparky's channel, and then you'll be able to see the the live streams. They're not you'll be watching the replays, but he also
That's right.
have ongoing live streams. They're really good.
Yeah, when it was first mentioned in the program tonight, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll do that tomorrow in the morning sometime. Maybe when I wake up and can't go back to sleep. So
yeah.
Is Dan Winship helping Sparky do the videos?
What'd you say, Tom?
Is Dan Winship helping Sparky do the videos? I had heard something about that Dan was going to help him out with that.
I don't know if Dan's there yet. The videos that I've seen, I haven't seen Dan come along him yet, but I know there was one gentleman that had the camera for a while because Sparky, you get tired holding the camera. He was holding it today for 2 hours.
Wow.
You just get tired, even about how much it weighs, you get tired, right?
Yeah.
I got some information from Philip Bailey. He says, Charles, it just keeps buffering, but I can't get in. So, yeah, Philip, keep trying. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I know our internet has been compromised over here. I'm a very unpopular dad right now. Right after Father's Day, I kick them off the internet, so they probably want to take back all their gifts and everything and get refunds on the meal. I'm going to pay for what they did. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm not very popular right now. Yeah. My wife, she can't even watch the TV. Just got play DVDs or something. Can't go on the internet. So. Yeah, so you should have a good time, Tom. I wish I was there, but only if I had a new plane built. I wouldn't want to. I went there a couple of years ago, and I had a blast. John Jordan and Sparky and everybody that was there took great care of me. They were really wonderful. I had a fantastic time, so I know you're going to have a good time. And you're probably going to see some good deals, and you're going to really appreciate Jim Lee's machine shop. And Tom Dixon is there. Tom Dixon sells Stalker motors. Just a second, Peter. Tom Dixon sells motors, and he sells kits. I don't know if Randy Smith is there, but Randy Smith sells kits, airplanes, engines, parts as well. So there's some really, high caliber vendors there. So you might want to definitely check out the vendors, see what they have going on. And it'd be nice to even handle all of Jim Lee's hardware, his stuff he has. You able to see it in person and pick it up and see how good it is. It's fantastic. And whatever you buy there, you're going to be saving on shipping. So consider that.
Has to fit in the Camaro, though.
Yeah, well, not all of Jim Lee's stuff is big. I mean, I buy a lot of. I have a lot of Jim Lee tools and stuff. He has a lot of neat stuff. He really does. Hey, Peter, go ahead, Peter. You wanted to show us something? Go ahead.
No. It's something that I found that I had to purchase, and I'm pretty sure everybody's got one of these, at least in some.
Oh yeah, a reamer, yeah.
Didn't have to buy one of these until I owned my first Super Tiger, and I found out, geez, the shaft of the Super Tiger engine isn't the same as the shaft on every other engine out there. It's bigger.
Yeah. Well, you think that's bad? Wait till you. I mean, I have a Merco, and the Merco, those crankshafts were, I think, were 5/16.
And of course, the Super Tiger, it's metric. These things aren't cheap. This thing costs like $18.
Yeah. I have a machine supply shop near where I live, and the gentleman's name is Todd, and he knows me very well. I come and buy all kinds of reamers and all kinds of stuff from him, and drill bits and all kinds of stuff I buy from him all the time. Yeah, stuff adds up.
Yeah, I was all happy as a clam when I got this, and until I tried to put a prop on it, and it said, oh, it don't fit. It does not fit on here.
Right. Yeah, you don't want. Hey, Phil, you got in. You got past the buffering.
Yeah, live living proof that stubborn does pay off once in a while.
Yes.
Oh,
Very good. Well, thank you for your persistence. So I wonder if Mark Lumen was having buffering issues too. So come on in, Mark. The water's warm.
unfortunately, Phil missed the entire my entire tirade about the tail of the Pathfinder LE and how you have to be.
No, I watched it on the phone.
Oh, okay. So,
I could get through on YouTube. I just couldn't get through here.
Okay, so Phil, you're now well informed as what to expect.
Well, that's what I had the same problem with what, like Charles said, the Nobler, and I did just what you did. I put a wedge in there. I just took that last former and slit right down through. Well, actually, I took a razor saw and cut it, and figured out how far I needed to just pull it apart, and then I just put a piece of 1/16 or 332 or whatever it was I needed down in there to wedge the fuselage apart back there.
And
then,
also, you have to keep cognizant is that's going to require if you either you have to bend the kit comes like it was shown before. The kit comes with these control horns that are not bent.
Yeah.
Like this. Otherwise, you have to make sure that you get the proper distance control horn between the legs, because the way obviously the elevators are hooked up, they're hooked up with a slot at the end. So if you build them according to the plans and your control horn's too wide, you're going to be your elevator's going to be out here instead of where it's supposed to be.
I cheat and do the same thing you did. I call Tom and say, "Here's what I need."
There you go.
Let me interrupt for a second again for the chat. Marcel Legrand, he says, "Hey Charles, I've been watching Sparky. Where can I help with his costs? $7 is a joke." I agree. That was pretty pathetic, and I'm sure that since then, I like to believe there've been more contributions. So I'm not pulling your leg. He said at that time, he said all he had received the day before was $7. But I know someone else had made a donation. He didn't say how much it was. But still, $50 to $75 a day is costing Sparky to broadcast live from the Nats. And I really think it's wonderful the way to tune in and watch the Nats. You know, it's a great opportunity. Then he goes on to say that Marcel, this is from Microgal, he says, Marcel, when you give Sparky a donation, use his PayPal account. That way he gets the full amount. YouTube would keep half of it. Yeah, the PayPal, the super chat does take half, according to Sparky. But, it's better than nothing. Now, I'm not at liberty to give Sparky's email out. But if you go to stunthangar.com, if you're registered, you can PM Sparky and he'll give you his email address. I'm not going to do that. And then you can PayPal him that way. And then he'll get more. PayPal takes a lot less than half. I forgot what the percent is. I think it's 8%, I believe. And then Marcel Legrand says, okay. So go ahead, Peter. You trying to say something?
No. That's what I did last year when he was at the Nats. I PM'd him and I told him how much you need. He said it cost me X amount an hour, streaming an hour, and I said, okay, let me cover that.
Fantastic. Yeah, we got to support Sparky. He's doing a lot for this hobby. It's amazing.
Yeah, he does do a lot.
He is very passionate, and he's backing it up with works.
I just get tickled at how much he says, I'm just not a tech guy. And then he gets on and he figures out all these high-tech problems.
I know he did all the code for Stunthangar for him. But I guess he didn't know, and then he just put his head down and figured it out.
Put your head down and do what you got to do.
Marcel Legrand says, okay, and he says, I got his email, so that's good. Fantastic. So we have 11 likes. We've had as many as 18 viewers. We're down to 12 currently, and appreciate some chat revenue, even though they take 50%. Do something. We have 0 new members. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And when you do, you want to hit the notification bell and select all, so that no matter if I'm on or if Sparky's on, you'll be notified that we're on. So please do that. That also helps. All those activities help. Plus commenting. Now, speaking of comments, I really don't check the YouTube channel very much. I do have my own channel. It's called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's all one word. So it's even 2 L's where it's control line. So Flying Control Line Stunt. It's all run together, no spaces. I do get alerts. So if you have a question or something I can do to help you, you can just go on my channel, make a comment, and I'll get a blurb. I'll get an announcement or a notification, and I'll be able to respond. So that's youtube.com/C/Flying Control Line Stunt, all one word. So it's /C as in Charles, /Flying Control Line Stunt. Anyways.
/C/Flying Control Line Stunt. Okay.
Yeah. So there's all spelt out. Even the control and in line, there's 2 L's there with those 2 words. So it's all spelt out. I only have about 9 videos there, but if you just comment on any of the videos, I will get a notification, and I will get back to you much quicker than if you want to make a comment to me on Stunthangar, the YouTube channel there. Sparky,
yeah, if he don't know who you are, he'll answer you. Oh Lord, I'm just giving him a hard time.
That's funny. Funny.
Charles answers. He does pretty good, but I'm equal opportunity. I give everybody a hard time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You come in here for a little fun and fellowship. If you don't get made fun of, you feel like you got left out.
On the chat, Mike Rigel says, Charles, do you have any videos that show you flying? Absolutely. Actually, the majority of them are myself flying. There's a video of me flying at the Nats a couple of years ago. There's a video of me flying at the there's a contest in LA called I think that was the Palmer, and a memorial for Bob Palmer. I flew. There's a video of me flying there. That's my most popular video. And there's a video that I like. It's not even of me. It's of Orestes Hernandez at the Golden State Stunt Championship. If you want to see a pilot that's, to me, he's my favorite. And no offense to the other top rated pilots. I don't know, I just can't explain it, but I just like to watch. And I actually focused in on the pilot. So my video of Orestes Hernandez, it's basically watching him. I don't really watch the plane, to focus in on him. And because he is, and don't get me wrong, Dave Fitzgerald, Paul Walker, they're all excellent pilots to watch. So, my personal preference is Orestes Hernandez. That's who I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, he flies like Les McDonald used to. He reminds me of his flying reminds me of Les McDonald. I used to love to watch Les fly. If he made a mistake in the morning, he made the same mistake all day long. But then he would find a way to correct it before the next day. And then the next day, he just didn't make any mistakes. And he did that, watched 2 practice flights and 3 officials, and he just didn't make a mistake, or 4 officials. He just didn't make any mistakes. Les McDonald was probably, there's 3 of them that you couldn't throw a handkerchief over. Les McDonald, Bill Wervich, and Paul Walker. They're all not Paul Walker. Paul Walker would have to be in there too. There's 4 of them. Dave Fitzgerald. Those 4, just incredible pilots.
Yeah, I saw Dave Fitzgerald.
And all of them are even nice guys. That's the amazing.
Yeah, they all are that I've met. And I saw Dave Fitzgerald fly today. It was 15-mile-an-hour winds with 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
Sounds like your Saturday.
You know, when You know, I have a friend of mine that I'm teaching to fly, Joe Mata, and Carl Reed, who's here right here. But I've explained to Joe when it's windy, I actually want to try to fly because that's what separates you from everybody else is your ability to fly in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people take passes; they don't fly in the wind. They just don't want to crash their airplane, and you know, so the only way to get used to flying in the wind, Joe, if you're listening, is to fly in the wind. Isn't that right, Carl? Because Carl is my buddy. He flies in the wind too. Carl will fly in the wind with me.
I wonder how Bob's doing with his twin.
Oh yeah, we flew in some pretty heavy winds. You know, and like I told you before, you know, up to a year ago, I could only come up every once in a while. So I went out there with an attitude where I'm going to fly no matter what.
Right.
Just get. But
because when you and I go to a contest and we spend that money for hotel and food and all that stuff,
you're going to fly.
You don't want to drive home kicking yourself going, I should have flown.
Exactly. Yeah. Even if you don't win nothing or don't do well, at least you got to punch a couple holes in the sky while you were there. So.
Well, I brought some good weather from Minnesota to Indiana. So.
Oh, what are you talking about? Snow?
Well, hey, there was one day when Charles and I even flew in the wind, or flew in the rain when it was sprinkling a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I got my plane up in the air, and the skies opened up, and I said, "Screw it, I'm still gonna fly."
You ain't got any choice, sucker.
You have no choice. You're running out of gas.
Well, yeah, exactly. you could do a controlled crash landing and just break the prop, but
no,
I wasn't gonna do that.
No, that's not an option.
Yeah.
I flew at a contest in Huntersville a few years ago, and Doug Taffiner was a judge, and I can't remember who the other judge was, but I had given Doug my raincoat just in case it rained. I didn't want to fly wearing it, so I threw it over Doug's shoulders. Well, Doug was smart enough, and he's the judge now. I'd take off and get to my climb. I think I'd done the climb. I had not done the dive yet. And I see my coat going that way. I thought, everybody's taking off to get under the cover, and I'm out here flying this thing. So they went down and got under the cover, and they're watching the flight. And, of course, they can't see anything. Oh, that's pretty. And what is that?
What are you talking about? I don't see anything but the Junar.
There's an airplane on the screen.
It's Forbits.
I like it. I like that. Well, anyway.
That's the Forbits.
When I landed, I didn't have a jacket to throw over my airplane or anything. So I went over and just left the lines in the center of the circle and took off running. I didn't even think to unhook the airplane. It was coming down. So I went down to the awning, got down there, and the guy says, "How did you like that wash cycle?" I said, "Well, the wash cycle wasn't bad, but the agitation was terrible." I didn't think anybody was listening. The whole place cracked up.
That's great.
It was weird, but anyway, they called off the flying, and I went home that night and did my darndest to dry the airplane out because it was boxcar chief, and it weighed 50 ounces when I got it home.
Oh,
whoa! That thing was just waterlogged. So we took hairdryer and put them on low. Mine, the wing comes off, so the water was in the fuselage. That's what was wrong with it. It was all in the fuselage.
Yeah.
That is sharp. I like that. But we got it fixed, and I actually won the contest the next morning.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, that was a good deal. Tom Looper gave me a lot of encouragement on that one, and to any of you who don't know Tom, he was second place. He had first place, and we got in there, and he loaned me a propeller, and I put it on there and flew it, and beat him by 1 point.
Oh wow!
With his propeller.
That's good.
That's Tommy.
I have a question for you, Phil. I know you have both wear glasses, so you're wearing your glasses. Now the rain is hitting those glasses, and then you really can't see, right?
You're right. You're right. You get all bogged down, but you can buy this stuff. I forgot what it's called. but you can buy some stuff and put on the glasses. It helps. It don't cure it, but it helps. But if you think wearing the glasses is bad, try flying in the rain without them. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
Because see, I wear my glasses. I can see fine without my glasses. The top of them is glass, but the bottom of them is bifocal. But they have sunglasses built in, and we always at work had to wear safety glasses. Well, that meant you got safety glasses over here and sunglasses over here, and then reading glasses tucked away somewhere else. I just said, the heck with that, and let it all in one pack. But I just keep them on because it's just easier than trying to keep up with them. But I tell you what, it's fun. It's fun trying to fly without glasses if the rain starts coming down. John Simpson, one time we were at a contest, and he said a drop of oil came down, popped him right in the eye. Well, John wears contacts. And he said he couldn't see a darn thing. he got me tickled. He's another one of those guys that is just a mess at a contest. If John Simpson's around and you're keeping up with him, you will eat at Cracker Barrel sometime during that contest. He loves Cracker Barrel, but he's a good guy. Oh Lordy! How do you when you're flying,
Okay.
Charles? What do you do when
What
it
I'm
really gets
sharing,
bright?
what I'm sharing, Phil.
I don't have anything now, just your name.
So
I got a blue screen with a green dot.
on me, John.
Yeah. It's got John Miller and it's got a round dot that says
Me?
JM in it.
Just hang on. Maybe give the internet a second. Maybe it'll catch up.
I tell you what, our internet's been out most of the day, so mine may not work.
What that is, what that plane is, Phil, that is the mono wing version of the 2 bits biplane. That's the single wing. It's the 4 bits.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
That's a nice looking airplane.
That's probably why you like it. It looks a little like it.
Yeah. That's a nice looking bird.
So you hadn't seen it, so I thought I'd share this.
Yeah, I meant to take a screenshot of it.
Back up yet or not?
If it'll pop back up, I want to get a screenshot of it. I don't know why I wasn't thinking when it was up. I'd have taken a screenshot of it.
Well, I'll leave it.
Yeah, leave it up there. Let me catch up on the chat while we're waiting.
I'll leave
for
it up
to sort itself out. So let me see here. Greg Nielsen says, "Evening, everyone from South Florida." Now, why does South Florida ring a bell? What's going on in South Florida?
Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Well, that's not South Florida. That's a different country.
Okay. Mike Regel says one of your planes is a Strega, isn't it? And you're right, Mike Regel. It is a Strega. Matter of fact, on my YouTube channel, I must have about at least 3 or 4 videos of me flying the Strega in various trims.
That's nice.
You might enjoy those Strega videos. And then Jeff Riley says Rain-X helps with the glasses. That's what I think Phil was thinking of.
Yeah,
right,
that's
Phil?
what I was trying to think of. Yeah, that's it. Rain-X.
And then Michael Gill says, I came across the plans for a good-looking plane at Outer Zone. It's supposed to be a GB R3. It's for control line, and it is a real looker. So, is it a GB or not?
Igor's airplane. That's Igor's design. That's Igor's design.
Okay, yes. You can't miss it because that rudder has a beautiful shape.
Mm-hmm.
It has some junk in the trunk.
Like a guppy tail.
Is that the one? Is that the one that became the Max B? John, is that the one that became the Max B?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have the plans to the Max B and a
the Igor's?
Yes, sir. I have plans to that one and a Bob Hunt foam wing downstairs for it. I'm going to try to build. Probably next winter before it gets built, but I'm going to try to build that.
Michael Gill says, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I used to call that a guppy tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that rudder on that GB.
I still want to get up with Keith Trossel and find out how his rudder works exactly, because either way, whether you pull or you push, the rudder kicks in. or out actually, but
Yeah.
works. I know how it works, but I want to know how he mounts it and how he drives it. It's got to be driven off the push rod, but
Yes.
how?
It's off the push rod. He has like a little channel that has a shape, particular shape,
Mm-hmm.
and as it moves down, it pushes. Oh, is that Mike Blanky?
Yeah. Okay, I'll see you over there at that. Okay. All right. I'll see you. Bye.
All right.
I'd love to be there tomorrow for Old Time and Classic. That's probably my favorite.
That's just what Will Davis said. He's gonna be over there flying old time. Hold on. I'm not ready yet, bro.
Hey, Mike, I saw you looking at the planes, doing the appearance judging. What plane, or what planes, if you want to play it on the safe side, what planes, plural, did you really admire the workmanship and craftsmanship and the finish and all that?
Are we still live streaming right now?
Yeah, we're still live streaming.
I'm gonna hold off on that.
All right, no problem.
I'm not really happy about some comments I heard from some people earlier about appearance judging on YouTube earlier. So I'm gonna wait till the live stream stops to discuss that. But I do have a lot to say.
All right, cool. Looks good. Sounds good. Anyways, there was another guy, but I saw some pretty planes there at the
Get your flak jacket on.
Yeah.
At the appearance jacket.
There's 3 or 4 of them that are beautiful.
On the show.
What'd you say, Phil?
I said there were 3 or 4 of them. I was watching Sparky, his feed today. There was 3 or 4 of them that were beautiful. There was a FW-190 that started it off, and then there was a ME-262. It wasn't a 262. It was a ME something or other, twin-engine German bomber. That thing was outstanding looking, but there was there was 3 or 4 really good looking airplanes. The guy from Pennsylvania, Dan Banjock, has rebuilt the Raven, and it really looks nice now. Again, I don't think it looks as nice as it did initially, but
No, it doesn't.
But it looked nice when
Still a big hole in the wing.
It's still got a hole in the wing.
Yeah.
He didn't show that. He didn't see that. But anyway, it's that was a pretty airplane. But there was 2 or 3 there that were just, they looked really nice. But you know, seeing it on a telephone and seeing it in person is 2 different things. Because I saw one a few years ago that I really thought was a sharp airplane, and then I saw it at Brodak, and it sure didn't look like I thought it looked. So you have to see it in person. You can't judge it over a telephone. But they got some pretty stuff.
I saw though over the feed. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I am done. I was done. I was just realizing that you're fuzzy tonight, so we're not on on Zoom.
I saw.
Go ahead.
I saw on the feed during the intermediate. There was a Pathfinder profile, Mark II profile there, and I thought from what I could see, I thought he did an excellent job on that. I liked his color and his layout.
The guy that has that twin-engine German bomber is the same guy that had the twin-engine Pathfinder at Brodak, and he does some pretty work.
That was Ruff. David.
I can't think of his name. I flew with him at Huntersville. Rick Huff. There you go. That sounds right.
Rick Huff. Yes.
But he's quite a interesting fellow. He helped me a lot understand electric when I was just trying to figure it out, because it made no sense at all to me, some of the things they were telling me. And then he says, well, you're looking at it from a technical point of view. Look at it from a just plain simple point of view. Start with 0 and look at it this way. And if he hadn't told me that, I probably still would not understand electric. because I was thinking of it from the wrong perspective altogether. But anyway, I still don't understand how some of these motors pull some of these big airplanes, but we'll figure it out. There's some motors. Go ahead.
Let me catch up on the chat. I have a couple comments and one for John. The first one is Mike Rigel says the Granville brothers built an R1 and an R2. Then I've seen several designs that propose to be an R3.
Yeah, I've seen
You guys
designs
familiar
for
with that?
R3. Yeah.
And then Greg Nielsen says, did John ever change the incidence on the top wing of his bike, and how did it work out?
Haven't done it yet, primarily because I still haven't found all of the rest of the support equipment for it, like the motor. I haven't, or the engine. I haven't found my box of engines. They're out in the garage somewhere, and it's been over 100 here for the last 2 weeks, and I just can't get out to the garage in that heat and go searching for it. But I have come up with a slight solution that I'm not going to have to change too much. I'm going to try changing the amount of flap. For instance, I could put more flap on the top wing or on the bottom wing to get one wing or the other to stall first. That's what the down incidence or the positive incidence, that's what you're trying to get accomplished with a biplane. And so if I can do it, if I can do it with by adjusting the ratios between the flaps, it might be the simplest solution to it all. Because I like the way it glides.
Hey, Walter.
Engine out with it set at 0-0. It set it at 0-0, and it'll glide for a lap easily. So, hi Walter. So
how you doing, guys?
That's where I'm at right now with the 2-bits.
Hey, Walter, we're still live.
How about
I got
you?
a late start, so we're still live, okay?
That's fine. Are you guys going?
Walter, you behaving yourself? He's hiding. I can see a
No, I'm
picture.
just asking if you're
We're on a delay, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, I can get on here. So let me get back with you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Walter.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get Walt to cut me some parts. I want to make a change in a kit. I know it's probably the way it should be, but it's not the way I'm going to do it.
Fucking cool you're here, man.
I don't think I will ever again build an airplane that has a battery.
Did that answer the question on the?
Did that? Yeah, that should have answered it, but
yours is a little bigger than mine.
He'll have to ask you. He'll have to answer.
I got the same thing.
Yeah.
John, there is a suggestion for you, John, by Marcel Legrand. He says, John, just use the bottom flap and it'll help a lot. Easier to trim. Mine was
off the ledge.
I had somebody tell me that too.
Yeah, I've considered that as well.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. And actually, I knew going into it that most of the biplane stunners just use the bottom flap, but I thought I could do it better.
Very good.
Well, you got to try.
And guess
I mean,
what? I couldn't.
Well, you never know. We ain't tried anything yet. There's a lot of.
That's
If
right.
you don't push the envelope, you never learn. You got to do something different to learn to get better.
Good point.
Yeah. Something I had to get drilled into my head, but it's true. If you always do it the same way, you're always going to get the same results. So try something new. You might like it. Might not work, but there's a chance it might. Always a chance.
Well, that's one of the reasons why. I made it possible to vary the amount of. For instance, I can vary the amount of flap between the top and the bottom flap. I can give myself like 25, 30 degrees down flat for when I give it up, and on the bottom wing, and give it 10 degrees flap on the top wing.
Wow.
Okay, because I can adjust that in there. If nothing else, the plane is very adjustable.
Wow, that sounds neat. Walter, you back yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I want to ask him something. I want to ask him something when he gets back. He's pretty knowledgeable about some of this stuff too. What do you guys use for primer? I primed a Ringmaster, and I used some of that paint that Steve was telling us about, that stuff from Horrible Freight.
Yeah.
And it went on just as pretty silver as you can believe.
Yeah.
And I got it on there, and I sanded it down flat, and then I went back. Of course, I had to put a little bit back on a couple places because it got too thin. So I got all silver, and I sanded it down. It got just straight and flat. And I went and put Madrid red over it. And it looked beautiful. I put the second coat on it. It looked beautiful. And I took it out in the sun today, and it looks like it's got polka dots. There's places where the gray is showing through. Looks like Madrid red is not very opaque. It's kind of a dark candy. You see through it, unless you put many coats on it. I don't want to do that, but I may have to sand everything back down to near the wood and put a coat of white on it, and then put the Madrid red over the white. But what do you use for primer, John?
Well, I always, between the primer that I'm going to sand off, I always put a coat of something, whether it's, I like to use like dove gray or a white with just a little bit of black in it, just a tad, a couple. And then I use that as a blocker coat.
Yeah.
And then I put my color coat over it.
I think that's what we'll do. I've ordered some polar gray.
And it doesn't have to be real thick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to use polar gray and white.
It doesn't have to be on there very thick.
Yeah. I'm just going to put one coat. I'm trying to keep it light.
You can actually thin it down. Yeah.
I'll do that. That sounds like a plan. This plane started out covered with polyacrylic, all in clear, with the masking tape on it, but nothing else. No paint. Well, 4 coats of dope to seal it down. Brought it up to the point where it was ready to paint. 13 ounces. So I said, I kind of want to try to keep this one light. But if I have to put a whole bunch of coats of Madrid red on it, it's not going to stay light. So I couldn't believe how bad that gray pops through just in areas. It's weird. But I don't think I'll be using that again. Where'd he go? There you are. Well, John disappeared for a second. He's back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
When I went to Florida, when Walter was finishing up the Ringmaster Imperial, we blocked that. He did his filler coat and got that sanded down, but then we blocked that with just plain silver, a very thin silver. And that blocked any of that mismatch and polka dotty stuff and streaky stuff, from the final finish, because it was, if I remember correctly, it was red. Not red. It was either red or white.
Yeah. Yeah. I finally
Red's
got
a terrible thing to try to.
Yeah. That's my favorite color on an airplane or a car.
I'm sorry.
Blue's my favorite on. That's all right. But it's a hard color to paint because you have to put so much of it on to make an even coat. It's aggravating color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yellow's another one.
Yeah, I just put that over white. Anytime I do yellow, I do polar gray.
Yep, that works great.
Polar gray down, then put a light coat of white over top of the polar gray, and then put yellow over top of that. And if you want to really look pretty, go to auto parts store and ask him for a half an ounce of yellow pigment, just raw pigment, and put a teaspoonful to a pint of paint, and it'll cover it in one coat and be beautiful. It oranges it up a little bit. It knocks that bright yellow off, lemon yellow, and makes it more of it's a deeper yellow, but it looks more like a Stinson yellow color. And it covers in one coat. So what's on my Jameson Special? I've had more comments on that paint scheme than any plane I've ever done. And there's one coat of yellow on that airplane. But anyway, wish Wendy were still around though. He knows more about paint than most of the rest of us put together. He's amazing. He's one I used to get my pigment from, and I found out, I think Bill Werridge told me, you do know that's just the same stuff you can buy at the auto parts store, don't you, for half the price? Okay. So I started doing that. But just ask for a pigment, a shot of pigment, 1 ounce, half ounce, I think is what they really give you, half an ounce of pigment. And you put that's good. That half an ounce is good for a quart of paint. So it works very well. And you can reuse the little cans even. So, because they charge me 50 cents a piece for the cans. I'm cheap. I keep my cans, rinse them out with thinner and mark what they are. And next time I go, in fact, I've got 3 of them downstairs. I'm going to go to 4-speed auto parts tomorrow and see if they'll give me 3 shots of pigment, yellow, red, and white. Yeah. I was going to ask another question. I can't remember what it was. This getting old is awful. CRS is real.
Yeah. Well, let me interrupt while you're thinking about that. Tom, by the way, I muted your mic because, Tom, I muted your mic because Mike Lonke, I could hear him talking to you, and it was interfering with our show. So your mic, you need to unmute it. I can't unmute it. And then referring to the chat, Marcel Legrand says, I found on my, what is that word? Duetto? I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's D-U-E-T-T.
Yeah, that's a
Duetto.
Duetto?
That's Klaus Marcus's.
Okay. He says that I could not.
Marcus's biplane.
He says I could not trim it because it was using both flaps. I then tried taping the top ones and just using the bottom flap, and then I found it a whole new plane to fly. And then Jeff Riley says, sounds like the solvents were not done evaporating, Phil. So that's what Jeff Riley's take on that.
Jeff, I would believe that, except it's been setting for a month. I can't believe it takes more than a month. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think, but it's unless the thinner in the dope reacted with the thinner in the primer. But like I told y'all, I don't get many chances to paint, and I'm not very good at painting anyway, so I try to be as good as I can. But I painted that thing, primed it a month ago, and took it inside and set it down. And it's been just sitting there where nobody would touch it and get skin grease on it, skin oil on it. And I took it out, and I take original Windex and clean them up good, and then shoot them, let them dry in the sun. But for me to shoot paint, it has to be sunny, no wind, and low humidity, because otherwise my stuff in North Carolina, I mean, out west, y'all won't understand, because the last time I was in Phoenix, I went for a jog. I got up one morning and I went for a jog. A policeman stopped me. He says, man, you're going to die of a heart attack. There's 12% humidity out here. I looked at him. Sir, I'm sorry. I mean no disrespect, but I'm from North Carolina. If we get below 70% humidity, we don't know how to act. And he stood there, his jaw dropped open, and I took off down the street running, just went back to my jog. And he come down the street and he looked out the side window and said, are you serious? I said, yeah. I said, think about the guys in Louisiana. If it's below 85%, they think they're having they think it's the beach day. So how do you describe Louisiana when it's 60% humidity? September or October? It's only 2 months. That's really humidity in Louisiana. We went down there for vacation one year, and I couldn't breathe. I had to leave. Went back to Mississippi because I couldn't breathe in Louisiana. But I tell you what, it's different. But we have a lot of humidity, and stuff hazes bad. Go ahead, John.
My humidity here right now, 11%.
Yeah.
Been that way for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You go on there bragging again, John. I tell you what, it's
Well, you just need to come out here to paint airplanes. That's all. I'll give you a remark.
well, I tell you what, I'd like to get out that way and give you a hard time. I'd like to learn some of the stuff you've forgotten. I'm telling you, that's
Oh, that wouldn't be hard.
oh gosh, I'm telling you, everybody keeps telling me you know all this stuff. I said no, I try to remember it, try to learn this stuff, but remembering it is another matter. Let me get to my notes. I remember something, but I write everything down. I keep a notebook. If I'm on the flight line or if I'm wherever, I've got a pen in my pocket and a notebook in my pocket. And when I learn something new, I write it down. I go to a contest and I'll have a little notebook in my pocket, and it'll be whatever planes I'm flying that day, how much fuel to put in them, or if they're electric, which battery to use. Then I write down what propeller I was using and the wind conditions and everything and how it did, and just make notes on everything, because you'll be surprised after a while. You come back and you look at that and you say, wait a minute, there's actually a pattern to this. If the winds are going to be this or the weather's going to be this, I need to drop down to this propeller, or I need to go up to this propeller, whatever. But you watch Bobby Hunt at a contest, or you watch Bill Werwidge especially. Bill takes notes on everything. And I figured, if Billy Werwidge does it, or if Bobby Hunt carries a cheat card in his pocket, I ain't above copying them in. Either one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't have to make every mistake for myself. I can watch somebody else's and realize that ain't something I want to do, or see somebody do something and realize, hey, I think I like that idea. I'll steal that one. But some of the guys get offended when you do that. But I went to the Nats one year and had been the year before, and Bob had his new airplane out there, and it was a classic model, Mackie Lark, and he had copied the paint scheme to a point. His looked much better than mine did, by the way. Of my stunt wagon on his Mackie Lark. He says, yeah, I copied your paint job. But, hey, I'm tickled. I'm honored that you thought something I designed was good enough to use. But if they come up with something and it works, take it. I mean, there's no I forgot what you call it, but there's nothing saying you can't copy what they do. When I build Bobby's airplanes, I usually use Bobby's paint scheme. I usually copy his paint scheme, not his colors. I don't care much for copper, but I write him about that. I do my red, white, and blue, but I don't know. I ain't above copying somebody's paint scheme. My Juno is red, black, and gold like Billy's, the first one I saw. So I mean, whatever. That plane's not still flyable, but it's only because it got so old the paper's cracking on it. I was hoping Walt was going to come back in here, doggone it. I had something to tell him.
I think Walter will. I'm pretty sure he will, actually. Hey, guys, let me catch him on the chat box. Greg Nielsen says, was 76 here in Florida today. I imagine he's talking about the humidity.
Yeah.
And then Greg Nielsen says,
90s.
like a sauna.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's the case.
About the way it was here.
Yeah. And you guys, we've been on for only an hour and 33 minutes. Normally we're on longer, but we got a late start. So I normally would have ended the stream a half hour ago, but because we got started so late due to the internet or YouTube, or I don't know what the problem was. I did have a bad or low bandwidth from what Spark you could see. And one thing I wanted to say is Bob Hunt didn't take his new plane. Wasn't ready. He took his. So I saw him with his Crossfire. So just to let you know, and hey, we've had a good show. Thank you very much. We've had as many as I think our high mark was still 18 or 18 viewers. We have 15 likes. Thank you very much. If anybody who's watching did not give us a thumbs up, please give us a thumbs up. That does help the analytics. Please, again, if it's inconvenient to hit Sparky's PayPal, go ahead and do the super chat. But if you are a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can PM Sparky and get his email, and then you can go ahead and give a donation to PayPal. That way, more of it will go to offset. I'm going to repeat it. That this is costing Sparky $50 to $75 a day to do the live stream. Not this show we're doing right now, but I'm talking about the live stream that he's doing from the Nats. It's costing him $50 to $75 a day. So please, really, really, really consider helping him out. I know he would greatly appreciate it. And we had a rough start, but we had a show. Thank you very much for everybody for showing up. And I know that there was one stream I just ended abruptly with no warning. We was just having some major issues today. So, but we got it going. And we're going to continue on in the after party. So, Walter, if you're listening, I'm going to be ending the live stream show. And Mike, he wants us to talk to us about some comments that he heard. And so we're going to continue on in the after party. And again, thank you very much for coming in. And we'll be back here Friday, but Sparky's going to be live streaming from the Nats in Muncie, Indiana. You can watch the Nats from the comfort of your couch in your living room.
Good Lord.
I've seen that plane before. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Anyways, we're gonna be ending the live stream now, and we're gonna move on. So good night, everybody. Have fair winds and tight